Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Recap Show. I'm sorry it's a couple of days late, but you will get a pregame and postgame show hopefully this next Thursday night. But I'll recap the game. I'll tell you who I picked to win and if I won or not, and I'll give my thoughts. I'll recap it for you. And before we get to any of that, here is the Thursday Night Football Week 7 trivia question. This quarterback was number 9. This quarterback wears number 9, excuse me, and led the Saints to their first Super Bowl victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Can you tell me who this diminutive quarterback's name? Can you tell me this quarterback's name? And I will have the answer for you later in the podcast. All right. Well, the Arizona Cardinals beat the New Orleans Saints at University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, and it was a shootout between these two teams Thursday night. But Arizona prevailed and got the win. But it was a great game, and I'm going to recap it for you right now. I'll give you the highlights. First quarter. Let me give you that. The Saints scored their first touchdown of the game. It was Andy Dalton pass deep middle to Rahad I gotta see. I'm sorry. I gotta go to the box score just for a momento. Rashad Shaheed, excuse me. There was, I gotta see who. And Andy Dalton deep pass up the middle to Rashad Shaheed for the 53-yard touchdown. Lutz's extra point is good, and it was 7-0 Saints. Then Arizona got to 4th and 5. Rob Blankenship kicked a 50-yard field goal, and it was good, and it was 7-3 Saints. Then the Saints had an interception, and that was at 3rd and 8. Andy Dalton's pass deep middle intended for Callaway was intercepted by I think it was Aaron Hamilton. I think that's who it was his name. I can't remember. Hold on just a moment. Yeah, it was this was a Saints. I think it was Aaron Hamilton. Let me look. I got to go to the box score. I'm going to look because I don't want to mess up this name. I just don't want to do that. Excuse me. I'm trying to look. I do apologize. Yeah, it was Cardinals. Antonio Hamilton, excuse me. Yeah, it was Antonio Hamilton that intercepted it. And then the Cardinals got the ball back, and they got to 4th and 10 at the New Orleans 10. Rob Blankenship's 28-yard field goal was good, and it was 7-6 Saints. And the Saints lead was cut to 1 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Saints scored their second touchdown of the game. It was Andy Dalton's pass short right to Hill for the touchdown. And it was Lutz's extra point was good, and it was 14-6 Saints. Then the Cardinals scored their first touchdown of the game. It was a first and goal. Ingram up the middle for the 2-yard touchdown. The two-point conversion failed. There was a penalty. Kyler Murray passed to DeAndre Hopkins incomplete on 10 fails on penalty on New Orleans, and it was 1 yard enforced. There was no play, and then New Orleans took a 2-point conversion, and E. Benjamin rushes left and attempt succeeds. The replay official reviewed the runner, broke the plane. Ruling on the play was upheld. The ruling on the field stand, and the Saints and Cardinals were tied at 14. Then the Saints had an interception. It was at 1st and 10. Andy Dalton's pass short middle, intended for Callaway, intercepted by I think it was Mack Wilson. I think it was Wilson who intercepted that at the New Orleans 38 for the 38-yard touchdown. It was an interception for touchdown, and it was 22-6 Cardinals. And then the Saints got the ball back, and they had another interception. And then it was Andy Dalton's pass short middle intended for Chris Olave, intercepted by Simmons at the Arizona 44. Simmons for 58-yard touchdown, and it was 26-14. And New Orleans had a 1st and 10, and Andy Dalton kneels for New Orleans 8 for -1 yard, and it was 26-14 at the half. In the third quarter, the Cardinals had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays and 5 yards. Then New Orleans got to 4th and 7 at the Arizona 7. Lutz's 25-yard field goal was good, and it was 28-17. Because Arizona had a touchback. There was a touchback. Yes, it was. So it was 28-17. And then Arizona had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays and -13 yards. Then New Orleans had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, 3 yards. And then the Arizona Cardinals scored their second. It was their third touchdown of the game. Excuse me. And it was 2nd and goal. Kyler Murray's pass short middle to Dortch. I think it was Garrett Dortch for the 5-yard touchdown. Blankenship's extra point is good, and it was 35-17 Cardinals. Then New Orleans had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays and 7 yards, and it was 35-17 at the end of the third quarter. Then in the fourth, New Orleans, the Cardinals had the punt after going 4 plays and no yards after going 3 and out. Then New Orleans scored their second touchdown of the game. Andy Dalton's pass short middle to Johnson for the 17-yard touchdown. Lutz's extra point was good, and it was 35-24. And then the Cardinals scored their fourth touchdown of the game. It was their fourth and final touchdown of the game. And it was Eric Benjamin up the middle for the 5-yard touchdown. And it was the Blankenship's extra field goal. Needed a was good, and it was 42-24 Saints. And then the New Orleans Saints scored their third touchdown of the game. It was second and goal. Andy Dalton's pass short left to, I think it was Johnson for the 1-yard touchdown. Lucha's extra point was good. It was 42-31. Then the Cardinals had the punt after going 3 and out, 3 plays, 8 yards. And then the Saints got to 4th and 7. Lucha's 45-yard field goal was good. And it was 42-34. Cardinals up by 8. And then Lutz kicks an onside for 13 yards from the New Orleans 35 to the 48. The Saints 48. And Zach Ertz didn't try to advance to the New Orleans 48 for no gain. And then Kyler Murray kneels and for -1 yard. And then nonetheless, the Cardinals win by the final score of 42-34. So I gotta give the game balls to Kyler Murray, 20 of 29. Carries and attempts, 24 yards, 1 touchdown. It was Eno Benjamin, not Eric Benjamin, Eno Benjamin, excuse me. I do apologize for that. 12 attempts, 92 yards, 1 touchdown, and DeAndre Hopkins, and it was welcome back to him, and it was 10 attempts and 103 yards. And so the Cardinals go to 3-4. The Saints fall to 2-5. So they will have to look ahead to their next opponent for Week 8. And Arizona will play Minnesota at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minnesota. They'll try to even up their record at 500 at 4-4. And I got to look here. Who will the Saints play in Week 8? Damn. They're not on a bye, but I know they're playing some. The Saints will play the Las Vegas Raiders at Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans next week, in Week 8. So, but I went with the Cardinals in 1, and so did my brother-in-law. We both went 1-0 on that one. And so you get the rest of the picks tomorrow. And we're going to talk more in just a moment. But right now, it is time to reveal the answer to the Sky Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 7 trivia question. This quarterback wore number 9, and led the Saints to their first Super Bowl victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Can you tell me this diminutive quarterback's name? And if you said Drew Brees, you are correct. Drew Brees began his career with the San Diego Chargers after going to college at Purdue University. After hurting his shoulder, he signed with the Saints, setting many NFL records. He has written a book called Coming Back Stronger, and he was the king of the Bacchus Mardi Gras parade in 2010 after leading the Saints to victory in the Super Bowl. Now I have another trivia question on my next podcast, which will be tomorrow on Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday Early Games Pregame Show. So stay tuned for that. But I felt this was a good game between the Cardinals and the Saints, and they really, it was a shootout. And New Orleans came back, but it just was not enough. And right now, I want to tell you some games we got coming up. The Browns face the Ravens tomorrow, and they need to win that one to really even up their record. Brady and the Bucks travel to Carolina to play the Panthers. Atlanta travels to Cincy to play the Bengals. Detroit travels to Dallas to play the Cowboys. The New York Giants, who are 5-1, travel to Jacksonville to face the Jaguars. The Indianapolis Colts will take on the Tennessee Titans at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. Green Bay travels to Washington to take on the Commanders. The Jets travel to Mile High to take on the Broncos. The Houston Texans will travel to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. Seattle travels to SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California to take on the Chargers. Kansas City travels to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. Sunday Night Football, Pittsburgh travels to Miami to Hard Rock Stadium to take on the Dolphins. And Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears travel to Foxborough to Gillette Stadium to take on the Patriots. And the Buffalo Bills, Minnesota Vikings, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Rams are all on a bye week. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football recap show for Week 7. I'll be back tomorrow with Scott Sports 101. Sunday, NFL Football Sunday early games pre-game show. And until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every day possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm